Hey everyone, I am Jennifer Roberts and I am the PodQueen. So I want to take a minute and I want to share my story with you. I want to talk about my journey in growing in love with God. You see, I started out as a radical, zealous girl. I went to the mission field early on and I really believed that I was going to be martyred. That was my goal. I wanted missionary biographies written about me. I wanted to be famous. I wanted to do great exploits for God. And I still want to do that. I still want to know God and I want to do great exploits for Him. That hasn't changed. But my life has changed. My circumstances have changed. And so I had to go on a journey. I had to wrestle with the Lord and say, Lord, what does radical look like now? How do I love you with my whole heart when I've got children? How do I love you with my whole heart when I have to clean the toilet? When I have to do my own dishes? And so I wanted to find God in my daily activity. I wanted to know that I can encounter Him every day, that I could know Him deeply in every season that I found myself in. And so my heart for women is I want to encourage you to do the same. You see, on my journey, I didn't know what to do because I had women sometimes say to me in the midst of my crisis when my children were little and it felt like I was drowning in laundry, they would say, isn't it the greatest joy ever to be a mom? And yeah, it is. I love my children. I want to be a mom. It's awesome. But it wasn't my greatest joy. And I felt the pressure that I had to conform to an expectation. I felt the pressure that womanhood had to look a specific way. And I didn't know how to act anymore because my greatest joy is sitting before Jesus. My greatest joy is encountering Him when I read the Word. My greatest joy is feeling His love impacting my heart. He is my ultimate reward. Yes, I love being a mother. Yes, I love being a wife. But I'm living for something differently. My highest calling is to know God and to be known by Him. So I want to encourage you to love Jesus on this journey. And so in the process of me doing PodQueen, we moved to Brazil. And now I'm in Brazil trying to figure out a new culture, a new way of doing things, and a new expectation upon women. There are expectations upon women in Brazil that exist elsewhere in the world but are super intense here. Like the expectation to be beautiful all the time. Brazilian women, let me tell you, you rule at this. Brazilian women, you are beautiful. I don't even try to meet your standard. You're unbelievable. But I have felt so much pressure, and I've talked to many of you and I've heard your stories of feeling the pressure that you feel to be beautiful all the time. And if my identity is in my outward beauty, I mean, it's a bad day because I have personally discovered, call me a scientist, people, I have personally discovered in this body, gravity is real. There are parts of my body, they are going south. They're nearly touching the ground. I got to pick them up and roll them back in. If I am looking for this body, this physical face, this physical appearance to gain my identity by, it's not going to work because it fades. Beauty fades. But the Bible says there's an incorruptible beauty. There is a beauty deep inside of us that is the beauty of God. It shines out of us and it never fades. It never goes away. I can wake up, I can have black mascara smeared across my face. My breath can smell like a rabid dog, but I am beautiful because God says I'm beautiful, because His delight is in me. And because the fact that I long to know Him more and more, I begin to radiate the love of Christ. And so I want to call women on my blog and in my videos and the writings and I want to call you to look higher, than this, to look higher than our flesh, than our frame, to look at Jesus, look to Him, become radiant, and let the shame fall off of you. We have an incorruptible beauty. It's deep inside of us, and it never fades. And we can find our identity in Him. And that's my heart for women, that our identity would be rooted in God, and we would become unshakable in how He feels about us and what He thinks about us. So go on this journey with me. Let's go hard after God. Let's find Him in every season that we're in, every age bracket that we're in. Let's find God and love Him together.